I'm fearful, man. I'm fearful for my motherfucking life. I'm fearful that this company, this $1 billion monopoly company worldwide, is gonna come after me. Something might happen to me. Yeah, I've struggled with addiction problems my whole career. From the beginning on the Ultimate Fighter, you see me drinking. I was going through a divorce. There was not much attention to me at Jackson Wink. I was basically just training myself, and coming to the end and not having support from your wife, your team, you could see where I was at. Here I am, about to be chewed up and spit out by the UFC. And this is when Joshua Fabia came into my life. He mentored me and coached me in speech. He mentored me and coached me in how to be a better father, how to so many other things.
It's sad to watch. It honestly hurts to see Diego Sanchez like this. See him so vulnerable and talk about his problems to Anthony Smith and RJ Clifford. They did an amazing job in the interview. The full interview is going to be in the description box below as well as the comment section. Highly recommend everybody go and check that out. It's like a 43-minute interview and Diego talks about everything and it all makes sense now. It honestly seems like Diego didn't have any support. He was lonely. His wife, his coaches, his training partners, everybody pretty much left him on his own to continue his career as he was in the later stages of it. So what it seemed like was he needed support from someone, and that someone was Joshua Fabia. Fabia came into his life and Diego pretty much became fulfilled. Fabia gave him all the attention that he wanted. Whether Fabia has good intentions or not, the attention that Diego is seeking is ultimately what was fulfilled here. And this is why they are so close to each other, and it's why even Diego is apologizing on Fabia's behalf. It's a very weird relationship, but it's someone who dug so deep. He tried to find his way out of the hole, and the one to rescue him in his eyes was Joshua Fabia. But what worries me the most about Diego now is the level of paranoia that he seems to have. He's talking about the UFC offing him. He claims that the UFC is going to off him because Diego knows the secrets of the organization. He's been there longer than anybody else. Therefore, he can reveal the most out of all this. And he claims also that Joshua Fabia knows the secrets as well. And this isn't the only time we've seen Diego become paranoid about the organization. Remember when Joshua Fabia went on the phone with Hunter Campbell and talked about the medicals and stuff, and he was pretty much saying, we want the medicals because in the future we don't want something weird going on with the organization when Diego leaves. That's another level of paranoia. This tells me that it possibly could be Diego. Diego's always been a bit strange, but I don't think so. In my opinion, I think it's Joshua Fabia putting things in Diego's head. And this doesn't make sense that Diego became paranoid all of a sudden because Diego said in this interview with Anthony Smith that he quote-unquote realized that the UFC was bad stemming from like 2 to 3 years ago. The guy's been in the UFC for 17 years. Why did it only take pretty much when you met Joshua Fabia? Why did the negative view of the organization start then? What Diego is going through needs professional help. I don't think, I could be wrong here, this is just outside looking in, but when you are going through these kind of mental issues and you falsify the solutions in one person that you meet, it can very easily be almost like a cult-like relationship. And this is why if Diego wants help, he should be seeking professional help. And Diego's been saying that he pushes people away who are fearful of his health continuing the sport at his age. This is why he said he pushed away his ex-wife. This means that people have tried to help him with his career, but it's not the kind of help that he's looking for. He wants to continue his career and get better at this, while most likely the people around him think it's probably time to hang up the gloves, Diego, and he just doesn't want to hear that. So he thinks that they're against him. He doesn't want to hear any of that garbage, and he's going to turn to whoever shares the same goal as him to further his career and become whatever he wants to be, a champion, the best fighter in the world, whatever it is. He stated that he pushed people away who did not support his journey. This is where it looks very devious with Joshua Fabia, because how can he not see the reality of what's going on here? How can he not see that Diego is obviously not in his prime anymore? He's obviously old and taking a lot of damage. He's not able to compete with the top guys like he used to. And it's just part of the sport. It happens to everybody. He's not looking at Diego Sanchez as someone who's in the later end of his career who probably should look to hang it up. The common sense is just not showing there, or Fabia's in this for something else. He wants Diego to continue for something else. We don't know what that is, but it's something that a lot of fighters like Daniel Cormier, like even Dana White, everybody's saying that there's something wrong with this guy that they don't understand yet. In my opinion, what I see from this is I think Joshua Fabia is looking to get something out of this. He's not only Diego Sanchez's coach, he's also his manager. Why would the coach become the manager? Why would they ever care to become the manager? He's pretty much everything for Diego Sanchez. He's Diego's entire staff. Why? As we all know, he has this whole self-awareness program or school or whatever it is, and the whole thing with the UFC that he was talking about the medicals, that seemed to everybody like it was some ploy of his to reap some reward. And it's the reason why we want to see Diego separate from this guy before it's too late. Diego was in a vulnerable position, and he may have fell into a trap. Hopefully that's not what happens here. Hopefully Joshua Fabia is what Diego Sanchez claims. He is a great trainer. He is this guy that fulfills him on an emotional level and can be a good friend to him. Honestly, that's what we all hope for Diego. But the wonkiness around it all and the lack of common sense behind the training methods, the way Fabia views Diego, the fact that Fabia makes everything about himself. He's walking around like he's Diego Sanchez's dad, talking for him. Like, look at the whole thing when they converted the commentating team. Fabia was in there like the father, talking to the teachers at a conference. It's impossible to look at this and say that it's all normal and Diego's gonna be fine with this all. We all worry for Diego Sanchez. Everybody loves Diego. No one ever says anything bad about him other than a few jokes and memes, which is harmless at the end of the day. Everybody gets memed on. But the core of the MMA community all love Diego. He's the ultimate fighter for a reason. He's the original warrior of the UFC. He's been through it all, man, and we all just hope the best for him. It's the reason why everybody's targeting Joshua Fabia. The guy bursted onto the scene, started going through these weird training methods with Diego and some of the other fighters. In fact, it was the other fighters who came out and said this guy is just crazy. He doesn't know what he's doing in training. And that's what got all the fans on board to start making jokes about him, to start memeing about him. And they got mad about the jokes, especially from Joe Rogan, and started making everything about himself. He started talking about himself. He's trying to debunk what the commentators are saying about him, counter-arguing what Joe Rogan and some of the other fighters are saying. And that's another form of the narcissism that everybody's talking about. Because of the criticisms, he always needs to defend himself. Coaches don't defend themselves through a debate. The way they shut everybody up is by doing a better job, is by proving people wrong. Make Diego Sanchez the fighter that you think he's going to be, or get another fighter and make them a world champion, make them a contender, do something successful with a fighter. That's how you shut everybody up. I believe it was Ariel Helwani who made a great point. Real good coaches do not want to be in the limelight. They don't want to be in front of cameras. They don't want to have any kind of fame. They want to be behind the scenes. It's the best coaches who still get the recognition even while trying to stay away from the cameras, like a Trevor Whitman. Why is Trevor Whitman looked at as the best coach in the sport right now, even though he never wants to be in front of the camera? Because his work does the talking for him. While Joshua Fabia wants to be in front of the cameras, he's always want to talk, he's always confronting the commentators, always criticizing what someone said about him in an interview. He seems to like the spotlight. He seems to like the attention. And that's where no coach I've ever seen, even some of the quote-unquote bad coaches that we joke about all the time, they don't even do that. Because at the end of the day, they are real coaches. They take this seriously.